I've never been to high school. I've actually never stepped foot in a high school in my entire life. In case you didn't know, I was homeschooled my entire life. I never went to school for even a day until college. Recently, I was asked to speak at a high school about building a business and being an entrepreneur at the Great American Teach-In. They asked and I said, sure, why not? That sounds cool. I had no idea what to expect, if I was going to show up in a classroom, in an auditorium, have 10 people, have 100 people, whether I'd be accepted by the high school crowd, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm 28, and high school when I was younger at least sounded pretty intense from my friends. It sounded like kids were pretty mean and a lot of people just thought that they were too cool. As someone who never went to high school, hearing stories about it fascinated me. I always wanted to know more and was kind of always wondering if I missed out on a big part of life by not going to school. I don't believe that to be the case anymore. As each day goes by, I'm more and more glad my parents took the route that they took with us. After rewatching this, maybe some of the things that I said weren't the best things to say in front of a bunch of high schoolers, but my message is there, and it's spoken loud and clear. And to be honest, this is one of the most memorable moments of my life, and it's something that I will never forget. To be so accepted by this local high school made me feel blessed in a way that I can barely explain to you with words. All I can say is that if you attended this lecture and you were there, thank you so much. You guys have inspired me again and shown me once again how blessed I am to do what I do. It's a little slow at the beginning, but my goal there was to provide all these kids with all the right information and perspectives that they need to succeed in life, and all the steps that I took to get to where I am. I think everyone out there can learn from this and be inspired by this, so I really wanted to share it with you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to let the footage speak for itself. At whatever point you enjoy this video, please drop a like and know that the best is yet to come. Always. Love you guys. Enjoy. I think it's just a group of kids. It'll be fun.
They don't have no parking for us.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Who are you here for? Are you for, the auditorium?
I'm Jack Rennie.
This is this one. Auditorium.
Oh, this is checking first.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, they have this on
Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much. Sorry.
I know you're going to be out of trouble. Yeah, I'm not gonna come back here until I get.
How many people you got in there?
The kids don't have to go in there for various, so I don't know how many you'll have.
Cool. Surprise.
Uh-huh.
So at that point I realized I'm speaking in an auditorium. They said a bell will sound, all the kids will leave, and a new group of kids will come in. Well, after everyone left and the new group of kids came in, it seemed like the line of students never ended. I would say there was at least 200 to 300 kids in there. Let's see how this goes.
And moment now. So many of you guys don't know me. I'm Miss Fitzgerald. Several years ago, my husband had this vision of starting a business, and it scared me a lot, and I wanted to support him and his vision. So one of the things that I had to do was I had to kind of work in the business for a little while because I wanted to support my husband. And there was a lot of days where I was scared and thought I had made the wrong decision and was still trying to support my husband and his vision, and really thought I had made the wrong decision. And the person that you're here to listen to, which obviously is not me, but really stepped up and helped support me and my husband's vision in a way that I don't even think he understands, that he helped us just by showing support through social media, through bringing in friends, and for bringing attention to our tiny little business. And it's such a blessing to then see that he does this all the time. He does it all the time to help support people. And so it's been so beautiful to see him do this throughout our community. And the reason why you're here is not only because, he has a few followers on YouTube, but and a big career, but also because he has added value to your lives as well, I'm sure. So, to stop me from talking, I'll introduce you not only to Athena and his dad, who are so important members of his whole squad, but also for Jackson.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the incredible introduction and for all the amazing smoothies and juice and wheatgrass and turmeric. Keeps me healthy, keeps me doing what I'm doing. Fun fact, this is the most time I've ever spent in high school in my entire life. I was homeschooled most of my life, so places like this kind of always scared me growing up. Didn't really have many friends being homeschooled growing up, kind of had a small group of friends, but I mean, I guess by show of hands, how many of you have seen my videos before? That's awesome, no way. I wasn't sure, what I was walking into if you guys are still checking out the content, but how many of you watched Mr. Beast? Or have seen Mr. Beast? Alright, how about the Milk Boys? Alright, we got some Tfue fans in here too? Alright, it seems like we're all just a few degrees of separation away from each other no matter what, It's pretty cool. I've known Jimmy Mr. Beast since before he was 100,000 subscribers, when he was just sitting inside his house reading his dictionary, the entire thing in one sitting, just to make some surprising content. And I watched him going from an extremely introverted person that could barely even get outside his house and make friends and have a conversation to being one of the most successful, popular content creators on the entire planet. So just the transition he made from, who he was to who he is just by following his passions and chasing his dreams is absolutely mind-blowing. So when I was growing up, nobody wanted to be a YouTuber because YouTube didn't exist. I'm going to look to notes on my phone. I think that writing down some of your ideas and anything that inspires you, anytime you have a great idea, write it down. Very helpful. Look back on some of the stuff that you dreamed about and some of the goals that you're trying to reach. Yeah, social media didn't really exist when I was a kid. I had dreams of being a comedian when I was younger, an entertainer, and a surfer. But my dad insisted that I find a career that would be facilitated through school. Also, my dad over there, he came because I let him come. Give him a round of applause. I wonder where I got it from. He made a joke. I'm not sure he knew that I was going to take it so seriously, but he said, you either have to go to school and go to college, or you have to become famous and build business. And it was a joke, but I took it very seriously, because I never wanted to be told what to do more than probably most people on the planet. I was just wanted to do what I enjoyed, and the idea of working for someone else or sitting in a cubicle or honestly, going to college was something that I didn't feel was going to facilitate my dreams. So I believe at a young age that anything that I enjoyed doing, other people would enjoy doing. I felt like as long as I trusted my gut and my instincts and I followed my dreams, I could literally do anything. And like I said, when I was growing up, I was not popular by any means. Like I said, I was homeschooled. I had a very small group of friends. When I first started making videos, I got made fun of a lot. People telling me I was wasting my time, calling me all sorts of names that I would never dare to repeat. It made me want to quit too. It was really, really upsetting. When you're a social media influencer and you put yourself out there, I'm putting my true self out there every time I make a video. And it takes a lot to be yourself to the people around you. It takes a whole lot more to be yourself for everybody. And that's something that I've tried to work on my entire life. But the criticism from people that I knew and people that I didn't know, it hit hard, because when people are anonymously saying terrible things about you, you're like, I don't even know this person. How could somebody possibly say that about me, But I used it as inspiration and I used it as motivation because I knew what I was doing. I knew who I was. I didn't want to be like anybody else. I just wanted to do what I enjoyed. And if I met some people, like-minded people to do it with, then, you know, to me that seemed like a good life. And I made YouTube videos for fun for 5 years. I actually made videos for 5 years before I made a single dollar off of YouTube. When I realized you could make money off YouTube, I was completely mind blown. I was like, I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years. You're telling me that I can get paid for it now? This is crazy. It was a different time. It really was. Like I said, when I joined YouTube, it was before the first YouTube channel had 100,000 subscribers. So it's like nobody even really cared compared to now. How many of you dream of pursuing a career that is related to social media? Like you want to be, you know, okay, all right. Not as many as there used to be, you know. Everybody wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid or a firefighter, but it seems like the number one thing that people want to do nowadays is social media. Seems like it's dialed back a little bit more, but it seems like we all work on the internet now. We're all trying to build businesses off the internet. It's honestly very difficult to just build a physical business, whether it's a retail shop or something like that. Like the fact that they've had success in their juice shop is amazing. It's not something that can easily be accomplished nowadays. It seems like we live in such a digital world. But one thing that I want to point out to all of you, because you all go to school, is less than 100 years ago, you would have to go dig through a library to possibly find the bit of information that you're looking for to help you learn in the subject that you're trying to learn in. You guys all have these in your pockets now. This is access to an infinite amount of information. You can become a master of whatever you'd like. There are so many people out there that are smarter than you guys, smarter than myself, that you can learn from and that I have learned from. You literally have the ability and the technology to make all your dreams come true, to make $1 million, to make $1 billion. This right here can do all of that for you, and it gets taken for granted a lot. For some reason, technology is making people dumber, but I want to advise and insist that you guys use these gifts of technology for good, because I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't seek to learn from people smarter than myself. When I was very young, I learned that I could learn anything from others. Literally anything. How to use a camera, how to edit videos, skate, surf, skim, paint, Photoshop, build websites. It's all possible now. When I realized I had the access to all of that at my fingertips, it was like it was impossible to not succeed because it was all in my hands. I could do it all myself, and like that just flipped the light bulb, like flipped the switch in my head. Like, wow, I really can learn how to be a master of anything, given the technology that I have now. Like, you're just a Google search away to any question that you ever wanted. And all of our parents did not have that. They had to go dig through books and dig through libraries. Like, imagine that. Imagine trying to go become a master of something by digging through a pile of books. That sounds awful. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds really, like, it wouldn't be a good time. I've tried it before, don't recommend it. I didn't always have the internet as a kid. Actually, if you want to know something that's funny, my brother Tifu is one of the best gamers on the entire planet. He's one of the highest earning gamers on the entire planet. And we weren't allowed to play video games until we were 13, until we were teenagers. So if you guys think that you're running out of time, or you think that you don't know what you're going to do, my brother's half of his life, he wasn't allowed to do what is now his career and what he's better than anyone else at. So just know you guys are young, you got plenty of time to figure out what you guys want to do. And he used tools to chase his dreams too, because he knew that he had what it takes. I mean, a little bit of luck, a lot of effort, a lot of heart, you know, chasing your dreams, but he used these tools of technology to create a life for himself beyond what I could ever even imagine. I mean, I've been making YouTube videos for 15 years. I think that I've done pretty well. Then my brother comes up and he's the fastest person in the history of YouTube to go under 100,000 subscribers to over 10 million. He did that in less than a year. Nobody's ever seen anything like that before. And I'm his older brother. I'm like, what the heck am I doing? My little brother just flew past me in a way that I didn't even think was possible. But obviously, you know, that's just motivation and inspiration. You know, I built a brand around the channel. Using the internet, I outsourced, tried to find cheap wholesale hats, taught myself how to use Photoshop, taught myself how to build a website, started ordering products, started selling my merchandise on my YouTube channel. I've been skimboarding my entire life, so I started working with a company called Apex Skimboards. I'm now part owner of the company. I have a pro shape. I've been helping to build that company for a really long time as well. And everything that I'm involved in is something that I'm passionate about, something I'm genuinely passionate about, something that I love. And your business is what you make it. I appreciate all the people who bought stuff from us so much to the point that I would go into the shop every single day and I would make sure to put like 15, 20 extra stickers. Maybe you'd buy a hat and you'd get 4 hats and a t-shirt and pop sockets. And like, I was just so excited that anyone cared about what I was doing that I wanted to thank them the best way that I possibly could. I was just like, I'd be at home and I'd imagine some kid that ordered a hat, opening a box and getting 100 stickers and 4 hats. And that just like, it made me really happy. And I think it's great business to give back to people, because maybe that kid got 150 stickers and he gave 10 of them to his friends. Now there's 5 more people that watch my videos, and you can make an impact. Word of mouth is a very powerful thing. I think as long as you're speaking from your heart and you're speaking from who you are and you're being yourself, people always respect what you have to say. You guys are in high school, you guys got all your cliques and worried about people lying and drama and being fake and whatnot, but life's not that complicated. It really doesn't need to be. It can be beautiful, and it's something that's meant to be enjoyed. It's just very important, be the person that picks somebody up and not put somebody down, because you can really change people's lives in some terrible ways by saying some terrible things to them, and just one little helping hand can really like change somebody's whole outlook on life. And just always make sure that you're the good in the world. It feels good to be the good in the world. It really doesn't feel bad to put people down. And if you live on the internet, you've had people say everything that can ever be said about you. We call it a hippie, we call it a drug addict, this and that, drop out. People can say whatever they want, but people that are saying those things don't know me. And one thing that I want to say too is don't be like me. I do a lot of dangerous stuff. I have a lot of fun, but don't be like me. Don't be like anyone else. Just be the best at being you. You might not think it's a lot now, but you have your whole life to become good at being yourself. Just take some time, reflect, and just make sure that you don't ever try to be like someone else. My life's been full of so many adventures, I can hardly believe it. I've been in and out of the hospital about 30 times. But above all, it's because I believed in myself and I expressed myself and I never tried to be anybody else. If you are your true self, I promise you're going to find meaning in life. Just don't ever jeopardize who you are to fit in or to serve other people. Cool is all a matter of opinion. It seems nowadays the people who are thriving are the ones that would have been called nerds. I like to consider myself a nerd. I spend more time on my computer and more time trying to learn through tutorials and learning how to build websites than anybody else. Luckily I serve so I can trick people into thinking that I'm a little bit cooler than I am, but I promise I'm not. I don't consider myself cool at heart. I consider myself a nerd who just did exactly what I wanted despite what anybody thought. And then for some reason people thought I was cool, and I honestly just think that's because I was myself, Being cool is always a weird concept to me. Kids always used to be cool. Kids I thought used to be cool would start taking pills and start taking drugs. I've been offered drugs a handful of times. Thankfully, I had a strong enough head on my shoulders to say no. I tried to tell them to stay away, but I can't control anyone. Sadly, I lost some of my best friends to fentanyl. There's nothing worse than sitting at one of your best friend's funerals from an overdose. It's not something that I hope any of you ever have to deal with. It's also just not worth it because drugs take away from who you are. You guys are way too young and have your minds are still developing. Just don't even consider doing any hard drugs at this point in your lives because it's not worth it. I've lost far too many friends and I've watched too many of my friends get put in the ground because of fentanyl. So just take that with a grain of salt. Just make sure that you're not ever doing anything like that because you think it'll make you fit in. Maybe you should find a new group of friends and people are trying to be handing you pills and stuff like that because I promise you, it is a horrible, horrible path to take, and it's one that I've watched ruin people. And whether my friend is dead or he's alive, I consider my friends that are still living nearly dead to me because they're not the same person because they just decided to go down the path of hard drugs. It's just important to be yourself and to be present. The world can be very loud and it can be very noisy. And There can be a lot of anxiety out there, but just remember to take a deep breath and to breathe. Your breathing it controls your mind, it controls your body, it can help you relax, it can help you cut down that anger or that anxiety if you can just center yourself and take a deep breath and put yourself in a very relaxed place. Because there's been times where I wanted to break stuff and throw stuff and punch stuff, and the best thing that I've done to learn to control myself in times where the world gets so noisy is to just take a deep breath. So always remember that. I just want to urge you guys to trust your gut and to trust your instinct and to use these incredible gifts of technology to build whatever life you want. It's in your hands. You can do whatever you want. Something that I read that has stuck with me for a very long time is, if making your dreams come true is not your full-time job, it should at least be a hobby of yours. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm also super happy to take some questions. Oh, and somebody's got an invisibility float. Camouflage, baby. Yeah, you got a question? I can shout if you want to pass.
No, they got it.
You got a question?
How did you find out about megalodon teeth being in our state, and how did you develop your passion to find like museum quality fossils?
Okay, so that's a great question. You asked me how I got into finding megalodon teeth. So I'll give you guys a quick Florida history lesson. I've been completely mind blown in my research for finding shark's teeth. I have one on my arm, and now this is high school, so I shouldn't be promoting tattoos, but Florida used to be completely underwater. It's actually been underwater several times. The biggest predator that has ever existed on planet Earth is the megalodon shark, and it used to swim straight through this auditorium where we're standing. Obviously, this place wasn't here back then, but the biggest predator ever exist on planet Earth was the megalodon shark. One of its main feeding grounds and breeding grounds was the state of Florida. In case you guys didn't know, Florida is the shark's tooth capital of the world. There is nowhere on planet Earth that has higher quality shark's teeth than Florida. People from all over the world spend crazy money trying to get Florida shark's teeth. So one of my biggest goals has been to open a ranch. I want to get like 30 to 40 acres that we can excavate and we can find megalodon shark's teeth and invite people out to come do it. I heard stories of it my entire life. I've been finding shark's teeth at the beach my entire life, but I went out on one hunt where they were digging a lake for a neighborhood, and I found more shark's teeth in one night than I did collectively in my entire life. And I already liked going out to the beach and doing it, so it kind of just blew my mind. There's probably 30 to 40,000 shark's teeth in my house right now. We really want to open a museum, and I mean, I just think it's so fun. It's like a never-ending treasure hunt. A lot of my friends would go out to the bars and, you know, get drunk and party and whatnot, but I'll go out to the pits and dig for 8 hours straight, get an incredible workout, and come home with a treasure trove full of shark's teeth. And we get to make necklaces. I give them to all my friends. It's such a fun hobby. I've learned so much about the state of Florida. Like, did you guys know? How many of you guys didn't know that the entire state of Florida has been underwater several times and that the megalodon used to roam here? All right, cool. You learned something. There you go. Any more questions? You. Yeah, I'll do it at the end. Yeah, in the back. Tifu was using aimbot. When you're one of the best in the world, I think that the best thing somebody could do to compliment you is to say that you're cheating, because, you know, he's just that good, dude. Like, he's my little brother. I can't even like hold a torch to how crazy that guy is. Yeah. Come to your home game today? What time? I don't see why not. I'm down. Any more questions? Yeah, for what? I've been listening to the old Muse album. Yeah, it's got Madness on it, a couple other songs that are really good. I like everything. I love the Juice WRLD. I think he's one of my favorite rappers. Like probably one of the best of all time. I listen to a lot of rock. I really like Elton John. I have like a deep love for the piano. I've been trying to play the piano the last few years. I think it's just a very expressive instrument. If you've never sat down and just smacked the piano for an hour and just had a blast, like, go for it. It's really a good time. Yeah. What was that? J. Cole? Yeah, I like J. Cole. I liked him a lot more when I was in high school, like when I was younger. But I listened to so much of him, I kind of tried to just like expand my horizon. Let me go over here and get a couple more here. Are you doing another question? It's probably like right in the middle. He asked if I've made more money off of YouTube or merch sales. It's just kind of like however much work I put into it. If I'm constantly releasing shirts, then I'm gonna make more money off merchandise. If I'm constantly making banger videos, then I'll probably make more money off videos. Yeah. I have found a shark's tooth that's over 6 inches, which means it was a 60 to 70 foot shark. There's been less than 10 7-inch teeth found on the entire planet. The 6-inch tooth that I found is chipped, like has probably about 1.5 inches off of the tip chipped off. So if it would have been whole, I think it would have been nearly a world record tooth. I don't know why I didn't bring some more of those. I probably should have, but yeah, we're trying to find that world record. Whoever finds the world record tooth, there's a private collector that already has $1 million price tag on it. So. Get out there, guys. Yeah. Writing it down, just like having a visualization of my dreams has been really helpful for me. Like having a whiteboard and being like, all right, stuff I want to accomplish, dreams I want to make come true. Like I have a very, very long bucket list and I've checked off so much stuff that I never thought would be possible. Like I was in a movie, Guest House. It's on Netflix if you want to check it out. It's with Pauly Shore. That was my first movies, acting, something I always wanted to do. One of my main goals now, I've been writing stand-up routine for the last 4 years. So stand-up comedy is something that I'm going to pursue very soon, and I'm really, really excited about it. I've been writing a lot of jokes, and I think it's going to be really awesome. Yeah.
Tell us a joke. Tell us a joke.
Tell you a joke?
You can come back.
I'll come back. I'm going to take one out because some of them aren't exactly high school friendly, I'd say. I mean, my stand-up is going to be very honest. Yeah, lighting shirt.
What's your favorite place that you've been during your YouTube career?
Okay, Mr. Beast flew me out to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil for a video being at all the great wonders of the world vlogging at the same time. He actually canned that video completely, but getting to visit Rio de Janeiro was awesome. My favorite place that I've ever visited will always, I think, be Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Go there, put it on your bucket list. Most fun, coolest place, best food, most beautiful water I've ever seen in my entire life. When I was 18 years old, I went to Mexico by myself, and it completely changed my life. It was the most fun trip of my life, and I've been going back every single year the last 10 years. I'm gonna get a couple over here really quick. Yeah, you can try. Have you seen Tifu lately? If me and Tifu got in a fight, who would win? That man is jacked right now, okay? I'll surf circles around him, I'll skate down a hill faster than him, but he would beat me up and he would crank 90s on me and kill me in any video game, so.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Who's my celebrity crush? Selena Gomez. I'm a little bit older, you know? I was like High School Musical growing up, like, she was really a big deal back then. Yeah. Do I think my career would be any different if I attended a public high school? Yes. Thankfully, my parents homeschooled me and they allowed me to just freely express myself and to, I don't know, they taught me what they thought was going to be important for me to grow up and to have a good life. Like there's a lot of, what do you call it? I'm a legal truant? Yeah.
TikTok.
My dad's student TikTok, don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Yes, well done. Gotcha. What? Will I FaceTime Mr. Beast? Oh my God. Alright, calm down. I'm not gonna let you guys down. What up, dude? Hey, you aren't around Jimmy, are you? No, not right now. Cool. No worries. I'm doing a speech at a high school, and everybody wanted me to FaceTime him, so I figured I'd give you a call. Because I know his number's been switched a couple times.
Oh, good, man. Yeah, I think he's out filming right now.
Yeah, all the time, right? Hey, well, you guys want to say hey to Garrett? You guys know Garrett from the channel? Hey, I got Garrett. Sorry, guys. Was it hard changing the Hollywood sign? Not really. I mean, it was kind of, I think that was one of the more fun adventures that I've ever been on. I don't recommend it. Definitely don't do that. But if there was ever a time to get arrested to promote breast cancer awareness, was a good time. And I don't ever plan on doing that again, so. Yeah, in the back of blue.
Where have the prank and parkour videos been?
We have some, alright, so we just built 4 fake bushes. They're amazing, right? Like, so imagine a bush, right? That you can just pick up, and then it's just a bush with legs. So we built like 4 or 5 of those. We're gonna try to go prank Tiger Woods with them. We'll see. We also built a fake shark fin. One of our funniest ideas is, my buddy Merrick's a fisherman. We want to have him throw out a line, and I'll already have the shark rig set up, and I'm going to tie his fishing line to my shark rig, and then I'm going to start pulling the shark fin down the beach. He's going to jump in one of those little orange inflatable boats with his fishing rod, and I'm going to pull him up the beach fishing for a giant shark in a little orange inflatable boat. I feel like that's going to be absolutely hilarious. And we're planning on doing that. Some of our best ideas are the ones we all sit down, we talk about ideas. If the whole room full of people is cracking up, it's like, all right, we gotta film that one. So yeah, you guys are on the floor.
What do you need to start up like a YouTube channel or like content?
You said, what do you need? So what's really cool and also depressing is the fact that all of your cell phones are better cameras than all the cameras that I used the first 10 years that I was making videos. I use my phone for almost every single YouTube video. Also, the new iPhone 13 has 48 megapixels. Like I said, I'm a nerd. You probably don't know what that means, but that is insane for a phone to have 48 megapixels. Like, you have no idea how much money you would have to spend 5 years ago to get a camera that had that many megapixels. Yeah, so use your phone, film stuff, have fun, just do whatever you want. You know, anything you enjoy, other people will, I promise. Is it the 14 or the 14? See, there's so many of those things. I don't know, man. Let me get you first. If I wasn't a content creator, I wanted to pursue a career in professional surfing, but I know a lot of professional surfers. I watched the circuit. I didn't see professional surfers making that much money. I saw YouTube really starting to work. Like, I felt like YouTube was like the next rap music. I felt like I discovered gold in California during the California gold rush. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So I grew up consuming content that was given to me, like TV and movies. You had to watch what was out there. And then with the birth of the internet, I was completely mind blown at the fact that I can look up whatever I want and watch whatever I want. Like, that goes towards like the light bulb in my head of like learning. I can learn whatever I want, and it just made so much sense to me. I was like, dang, I've been scrolling through the TV guide my entire life trying to find a good show, and now I can go on the internet and type in whatever show I want. So it felt like it was gonna work. I felt so early. I felt like this is it. This is gonna be the future. And lo and behold, YouTube's the biggest social media platform on the planet. Yeah, you in the way?
What's your favorite video you ever made?
My favorite video I've ever made, probably pranking the entire state of Florida with Mike Honcho. If you haven't seen pranking the entire state of Florida, pranking the news, that's really funny. But the ultimate Florida lightning storm. If you guys live in Florida, if you're interested in weather at all, the ultimate Florida lightning storm is some of the coolest weather footage I've ever filmed. That's been one of my real passions lately, is filming weather. Here, I have it in the green. Sunset Skim Friday? Yeah, everybody come out. 20th Ave, Indian Rocks Beach. We'll be out skimming. I'll bring some extra boards. Anybody wants to come out, we'll have a blast. Friday, sunset, 20th Avenue, Indian Rocks. Come have some fun. Who's the one person that I want to collab with? Dave Chappelle or Joe Rogan. I mean, Dave Chappelle, I think, is one of the funniest people on the entire planet. I look up to him a lot as a comedian. It'd be really cool to just have a conversation and sit down with those guys. What inspires my clothing style? I always like to dress ridiculously. I don't know, like if you've seen my videos in the past, I always have crazy shirts on and like crazy all over prints. I like standing out. I didn't ever like, like being in the back. I thought it was funny when people would, everywhere I go, I get weird looks. Whether it's from old people, like I can tell when somebody looks at me and they're like, oh, I've seen your videos before, but sometimes I'll have like older people look at me and just like look in disgust almost. I just laugh because, I don't know, if you're gonna stereotype me, you could say a lot, but at the end of the day, I don't think I exactly fit the stereotype of my look, so I feel like it's kind of like almost like a paradox almost. Oh yeah, you. Oh, if my kids want to do what I did, would I let them follow the footsteps? See, that's a really tough question, and that's something that I've contemplated. 'Cause it's like, if I have kids someday, he's like, Dad, I'm gonna go jump off a bridge. I'm like, no, don't do that, it's dangerous. He's like, Dad, there's 30 YouTube videos of you doing it. How am I supposed to tell my kids that they can't do anything when I've done everything, So that's gonna be tough. I haven't gotten there yet. I don't have kids yet. I don't plan on having kids, anytime soon, maybe years down the road. But yeah, it's gonna be really hard for me to tell my kids that they can't do stuff. And I've thought about that. So if you have any advice for me, that'd be really cool. Yeah, you. So she asked me what was the point where I knew that like YouTube was gonna kind of like be my career. Like I said, I made YouTube videos for 5 years before I knew that you can make $1. It took me 5 years to get 1,000 subscribers. How sad is that? 1 year, I went from 1,000 to 10,000. One more year, I went from 10,000 to 100,000. One more year, 100,000 to 1 million. And then now we're at like 5.7 million or something. When we hit 10,000, it completely changed my life. It blew my mind. I was like, there's 10,000 people that want to see what we're up to, that want to see what we're doing next. Like, me and all my friends were on fire. We thought it was the coolest thing ever. And like, I don't know. I know that numbers nowadays don't really mean as much as they used to, but 10,000 people is a lot of people. Like, if you have 10,000 fans, you can, like, imagine having 10,000 friends. Imagine throwing a party with 10,000 people at it. Like, it'd be absolutely insane. And it's something that has been hard for me to grasp, and it's something that it still blows my mind how many people have seen our videos. We're actually about to cross the threshold on YouTube of 1 billion views. We're like 20 million views away from hitting 1 billion, and that's been one of my biggest goals my whole life, so pretty excited about that. All right, one more question. Group photo, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you in the front. All right, wait, yeah.
Ask her a question.
That'd be really cool. We actually tried, can I throw a project name card? We tried to do that once on an island in the costume. All right, well, I'm gonna take one more because you should really help. Okay. I think that class goes a long way, and I think that respect goes a long way, and like, you really don't need to be that extra. Like, he's just super extra, I feel like. And like, I agree with some of the stuff that he says, but like, at the same time, like, I think that it's better to be like a reserved person and to be like the person that is helpful instead of the person that's screaming in people's faces, But you said you would?
Oh, yeah. How was your time on America's Got Talent?
How was my time on America's Got Talent? We were there strictly for comedic relief. There was no possible chance we were going to win that. We all knew it. But like, these people are having us rip our pants off and belly flop into mousetraps. Like, this is America's Got Talent. Like, all right, you know how I walked in here and you guys all cheered for me? Imagine the exact opposite of that. That is exactly what happened when I was on America's Got Talent. I was like, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to go belly flop into some mousetrap. Boom! I look up. Mortified audience, disgusted. They couldn't even believe that I was a part of this show, and I thought that was the funniest thing that I've ever seen. do a group picture. Come on up. Again, incredible experience. Shout out to Largo High. Shout out to Juice Habit. Shout out to everybody that helped us to get to this point. I did say that we were going to have a sunset skim Friday and then I'd bring extra boards. Sadly, I couldn't make it. I feel bad about it. If you guys want to join us on 20th Avenue, Indian Rocks Beach this Friday, promise you guys I'll be there. I'll bring out boards. We'll have a great time. And thank you again. Largo students were awesome. They were so cool. I had no idea what to expect, but I'd love to go back. I'd love to come to your high school. Maybe if you can make that happen. I have my email in the description of the channel. If you guys want to have your school reach out, I'd love to come talk to you guys. I had a lot of fun. Best is yet to come. Stand-up comedy coming soon. You guys are amazing. And see you soon for a new video. Thanks.